Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Token Games Podcast. I'm your host and referee, Zach Stad Pearson, and today I'm joined by the leader of Freeman, who has recently relieved his bowels, Corey Troy of House VA.
What's going on, everybody?
And of course, the Wakandan ambassador to the United States military, currently stationed at Fort House of Troy's bathroom, the honor guard himself, one Michael Dat Hill.
I appreciate the promotion to a bathroom clerk. Not really.
Look, if it makes you feel any better, I got one more podcast session of me fucking around with this shit. I think what I'm going to do is rotate who I theme it after at this point. I've done so many of these intros that I got to find a way to stop them from being stale. Y'all don't realize it, but I've damn near done 200 of these intros. Yeah, 200. Whew. First off, go me for being able to come up with different shit so often. Holy shit. All right, so today's topics are, well, let me just preface this by saying that we are not ignoring any plights or current issues that are happening involving human rights, civil rights, and shit relating to video games with Hong Kong. However, this story is eternally developing, and the story is eternally going in and out of accuracy, for lack of a better term, depending on your source. So I'm not so much trying to wait for this shit to blow over. I don't ignore any issues. I think everyone knows that by now. What I'm trying to do is make sure I have everything in order and chronological, as I do when I try to explain anything relating to games or any other form of media, because I just don't like giving you guys, not the listeners, because there's like 3 of them, but you guys in particular in the podcast, bad information, especially when it's involving human rights violations. So yeah, Hong Kong, you have my empathy and you have my sympathy because you have to deal with the Communist Party of China. It's going to be a long battle, however it turns out. So yeah, let me get into those topics. Number 1, the video game industry has had a very unusual history with cinematography. However, I am wondering if you guys think it may be better to, instead of making movies based on in the world of a video game, which rarely get considered good, looking at you, Resident Evil, even by its original fans, let alone critics of cinematography, or should they try to switch to a documentary format where creation of a video game is chronicled to have a better chance at understanding and gaining acclaim with the world of cinema? I'm really looking forward to answers on that one the most, not gonna lie. Topic 2, the video game industry has a terrible habit of considering subgenres new genres. However, I'm wondering, based on the fact that that happens, is it even possible for new genres to exist in this day and age? Have we reached the cap, so to speak? And topic 3. Okay, so y'all already know we got a big chance, and for a very low price, if enough of us pool lining our money, of throwing this shit on SoundCloud, and dramatically increasing our exposure and, turning this into a hobby between friends into something that much closer to professional. I've already upgraded my microphone equipment 5 times in the past 2 years, and I've actually learned about 20 to 30 new audio editing techniques that I didn't fuck with before, thereby reducing my dependency on third parties. And everyone will have access to it. Everyone can utilize it, not just me when I have to upload. And there'll be no restrictions for me other than, don't be a racist or homophobic or, just something that'll make everyone think you're a dick. Because we all got to use this. So, if y'all interested in it, what do y'all want to see creatively, or what do y'all want to do? Or is it just a matter of, hey, fuck it, as long as enough people donate, I don't mind or give a shit. It's up to you. Now, topic 4, let me scroll down a little bit. Voice acting as a career. Is there a wrong way and right way to enter into the field at this point? The 3 most common options are commercial narration via television or radio, animated television, and of course localization practices. However, due to the era we live in the ease of access of the internet, people can have the careers that go for years via the internet in this industry. The weakness, however, of the internet is that casting directors often do not use individual casting pools and instead usually go through a large network or acting guild that's been approved. So, in your opinion, if someone wanted to primarily make their living off of their voice, which methodology do you think could best suit them? Man, I wish we could have Corey for that one. I mean, not Corey, sorry, Ryan for that one. Because using Corey and Ryan on that one specifically would be a good ass combo, just given their acting backgrounds.
Would have been nice to have Ryan.
Yeah, well, I mean, you were there. You already know he's literally last year was one of the worst years, if not the worst year of his life. And I hope this one is going way better for him. I got to hang out with him not too long ago by random chance when he had some extra theater tickets, and he came into Chicago. So he's walking upright. His foot brace is smaller in size now. Topic 5. We all know that there's going to be a Super Switch. Title. That's a placeholder name, so don't nobody quote me on that. Like Nintendo NX of some sort coming at some point in time next year. And I'm pretty sure there's not a topic we haven't discussed about it, with the exception of one. Whenever this new iteration of the Switch comes out with an improved graphics card, do you think Nintendo should... And the question got cut off. Whoops. Let's see what goes right there. Whenever this new iteration of the Switch comes out with an improved graphics card, do you think... Oh yeah. Do you think Nintendo should completely stop production of the original format version or continue on forward with this new model? Unlike a console, game companies did not immediately and do not stop making that console until they start going into the next generation, even if they do an upgrade or a modified version later on. But Nintendo historically has always done that with their handhelds. Once a new type comes out, they stop making the old kind. And here we are with a system that's a hybrid of both. So yeah. And while I'm correcting that question from being incomplete, and Corey, go ahead and start us off.
Sure. For topic 1, I think that could work. The idea of instead of telling like a video game, but in like a movie format, do a documentary style. I mean, there's already a lot of YouTube channels dedicated. A lot of YouTube channels dedicated to that kind of stuff. So I mean, it would just be on the big screen. I think it'd be cool. Topic 2, subgenres and new genres. I think I couldn't think of like a new genre for a video game, but I'm sure there's somebody out there that could. I don't really have much for that. Topic 3. We're talking about the upgrading the SoundCloud, right? That's what you're talking about.
As well as what show or movie or whatever you want everyone to try to look at or recommend right now.
Just making sure. I mean, I see it, but I'm just double checking. I am interested in expanding like our audience, or to our broadening it. My thing is just like money, because right now I'm trying to save up my money to like create a demo reel and a bunch of other stuff. It's kind of difficult to balance that.
Oh, hey, when you create your demo reel, let me know. I'll clean up your audio and put it in stereo format for you for free.
Oh, I'm going to be doing it in the city. I'm talking with a person. It's going to be for a commercial.
Oh, cool. Well then, shit. Hey, whatever you end up doing, let me know so I can spread it in the group and we can promote it and show love and that shit. Same way we do with Ryan.
Thanks, man. No, I'll definitely send it to you as soon as I get it. It's probably going to be like a couple months, but yeah, thank you.
It's fine. Take your time.
A movie or show I can recommend? I don't watch a lot of television. The one show I guess that I'm watching.
Dude, you know damn well Netflix and Hulu and all that shit count.
It's true. But I don't know. When I come home, I just want to watch YouTube and I want to fall asleep. Or I want to play right now I'm playing Resident Evil. I beat all of the routes in Resident Evil 2 Remake. I'm about to jump into 4. But the thing I'm watching currently at the moment is The Rookie, which is like a cop show with Nathan Fillion. So if you like Nathan Fillion or cop shows, I recommend The Rookie.
Is it funny or drama?
Yeah, like the middle.
Dramedy.
Yeah, dramedy. Okay, so topic 4.
Topic 4: if you're interested in doing voiceover, it helps to have a background in acting. You can try community theater if you haven't already tried acting before. There's a lot of coaches online. There's a lot of great online communities to learn from. So once you think you're ready, or you don't have to do that, but if you want to give it a try, at least there's like free to play sites like Casting Call Club. There's like hundreds of projects to try. It's mostly like fan stuff, but it helps to give like a decent idea of what it's like. If you want to move up more to like money, like good paying job, like decent, well, not good paying, but like decent paying jobs, there's pay to play sites. At that point, you should have like a good setup, like an XLR microphone. Maybe you soundproofed your closet. Nobody wants to hear the guy next door mowing his lawn or the dogs barking outside. If you're going to be doing like online jobs, maybe it should help to learn a little bit more about editing, how to work your area better, like how to get better quality audio. Right now I'm recording in my room, not in my closet, so this might not sound so great. But you should if you're going to be trying to make money, you should sound professional. I think the end goal and what I'm trying to do right now is get my reels together and find agents. Because I think that is the end game, is to get an agent, find when you're ready to find better paying, well, higher end clients, and to make better money. Commercials pay the most. Animation, video games is below that. I don't know their usual rates, but I know commercial, and from what everyone tells me, commercial is what pays the most. What you really want to do is get into the union. It's a lot of money. You don't get as many jobs, but the jobs pay a lot. The union has benefits like health care. The union is very beneficial. So there's a lot to think about when you go into the voiceover field.
Okay, so topic 5. I actually didn't get to see this one yet. Alright, sorry. I write down my my responses like that, give me like an idea, like so I can remember what I was thinking.
Oh no, dude, I totally understand. We had a lot of people do that back in the day just because the time we got the topics versus when we talked about it, people didn't want to forget shit.
I started doing that more now, so I remember. Yeah. Okay, so topic 5.
Did you mean for your mic to cut out just now?
I did. I forgot to let go of the button.
Okay.
Should Nintendo stop making the original model? No, they shouldn't. I mean, it's like the PS4 Pro and the PS4. I mean, you have to. I feel like you're gonna alienate a portion of your audience somehow by just making the Pro console. Like the new 3DS happened, but they're still making the original 3DS. I don't think Nintendo's gonna stop making it. I think there should always be a cheaper version so people who have at least a little bit of money can afford it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Hill, go ahead.
Okay. Number 1, trying to make the whole documentary to video game probably better quality because we get to see how some of our favorite things have come to fruition, and some people really do like watching how it's made, and then I can also bring a new audience. I just really hope it doesn't be too long and kind of, they'll probably like shoehorn the stuff people want to see and not show too much of like the very fully ground up or pitching the idea that how long it took them to make that idea, because that would be a very long thing to do. Number 2, trying to introduce a new genre or try to bring up a very obscene genre that nobody really does, I don't think it's gonna really work because like nobody really likes new in another format they've done. If you think about regular Fire Emblem, then Dynasty Warriors Fire Emblem, I'm not sure how much that worked out for them, but nobody really seemed to, excuse me, like their variant games. Hell, nobody wants to breathe the words Sonic Shuffle or Sonic R in this day and age. So, trying to get off the ground with something out of the norm has not worked for a lot of people. So they just want to keep it all nice and streamlined.
Thanks, corporate America, motherfucker.
Having everybody pitch in for the new podcast, it would be great because we could have better quality and actually really sound like we're trying to do stuff.
Okay, so that's three votes so far. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna go on the calculator and look at how much that's gonna be so far. We might get more people, like I said. Ryan, I know for a fact, is definitely interested. I'm probably gonna call him later tonight, and we might have a fourth, which means the price goes that by that much.
Yeah. Info's fine. Putting into something that will make this better and actually draw into people seeing what we talk about. Because when he talks about PSO2, we get like 200 people.
Yeah, seriously.
We get like 4 to 7.
And I can promise you that first one is just me, because on my end, I don't. You guys see when the upload first comes out in HD, but on my end, I have to sit there and manually watch it to see when the upload processes in HD. Because when it first finishes, every video starts in 360 and you can't go past it. So you got to wait like another fucking 10 or 15 minutes for the 720 version and the 1080 version every time.
The voice acting one is kind of iffy to me because I really don't know much about that field at all. Because it just seems like there's a lot going on just from other people I have followed who strive, because you gotta really, really put your voice out there, and then not only you gotta sound good to you, but you also gotta sound good to a bunch of other people.
Exactly. Now you see why, even though I say we can talk about everything, as long as you guys don't go ape shit like we back in the barracks or it's just the boys and no one's around, because it's one thing to get famous or well liked, I should say, for what we do, but it's a whole nother mess of shit to become infamous for a garbage or mistimed statement that's fucked up and I can't pull you back from. I think you were there for the Great Val Morris incident of 2016. Yeah, that was totally a lot of fun right there.
That was horrible.
Fucking, the worst part for me is that, not to go into too much detail, but I went and asked him, did he actually own a shotgun after all that shit was done? And he did. So that really didn't help shit. That boy's a threat to humanity. You can tell him I said that.
You better not stop making products, or at least try to outdate the old Switch, because yes, it does have the drift thing, but it's still usable and playable for plenty of other stuff. Because it does become annoying when they try to really force your consumer market to get the next upgrade, which some people are unfortunately barely able to afford the base model. Because I got fucking pissed when they did that with the Xbox, and it was like the Xbox 360, then like the fucking other one where you can actually put the hard drive in it. Right?
Oh shit, I remember that. Yeah.
God like
Everyone was pissed about that. Oh my god.
trying to force the consumer market is not the best way to go, considering that the people buying it aren't going to be the ones playing it. It's always like their kids or just like somebody around my age who still wants to do the video game thing. So trying to keep people who are about the ages of like 8 to 27 actually wanting to play this, keeping it within like a reasonable that okay, may not get the fucking Xbox X or whatever the fuck is out right now, but I can still get the regular Xbox One with PS4 and shit. So just like do that with the Switch, because like I do like the idea of having the pro version of the Switch, so you can just have more room and it does better. But
Oh, let a nigga get some more RAM, I swear to God.
for real, but don't like fucking make the old one obsolete. Because that's what really did piss me off about the whole DS era of handhelds. Because it just was like, it can play Game Boy games. Now it can't. Now it can't even, it can barely play DS games. You lost PictoChat. Like, the only reason I wanted DSi is because of PictoChat. They got rid of that on 3DS. It's like, why?
Okay. All right. Guess it's time for me to bring it home. Okay, so I'm at a weird angle for this one because I know there's a market to learning the history of how a game was created or a creator. Because let's be honest, I would say at least 1 in 10 YouTube videos I see per week is a documentation or an explanation or a history, if not indirect autobiography of some video game creator's career. Like real talk. So there is a market. However, because of that shit, because literally YouTube's do it for no money, or because, you know, they have Patreon shit, which, and we may get into that if we ever can consistently get like 100 people to listen to us per month, or we're not per month, per episode, then yeah. But that's obviously a ways off. Fucking, they do it already. So I think that Hollywood might be turned off to the idea of doing it just on the sole fact that someone else already is. But it's not like these shows don't have a history of existing. They just don't have a history of being presented to the Western market. The last show I can remember, and this show, even if it was still going right now, will be almost 15 years old, is Icons on G4 television, God rest its soul, where it literally talked to the people who created any particular game that was super popular or historical, or franchise that was super popular or historical, and went through literally all their shit. And it, oh my God, I will plan a day sometimes around watching that shit. I really would. Of course, they had some stupid episodes from time to time, but I didn't care. Now, when it comes to my summarized opinion on it, I think that the cinematography world would appreciate it more, but the target fan base wouldn't be the people that go see the movie. Ironically, much like the shitty ass Paul W.S. Anderson Resident Evil movies, because the people know that they can YouTube it, or they've already seen it on YouTube, so why pay money for it? You know, that logical shit. But curious people who just want to see a good movie, or, you know, understand that documentaries in cinema is rare, probably going to be all over it. I wouldn't care if it's a, you know, a based on a true story type situation where they make some shit up. I want people to be more interested and more invested. I just don't think that, even though I want it to happen, that the original audience will go see it. Now, as far as topic 2, so how to put this? I'm one of those people that thinks new genres only truly show up when there is literally new formats of play. But Zax, what do you mean by that? All right, so basically, the way I look at it, gamers sometimes think that a new concept counts as a new genre, and it doesn't. A new concept, actually, you know what? I'm gonna make sure I get this shit straight. Hey Google, definition of concept.
Here's the definition of concept. An abstract idea, a general notion.
A concept is basically synonymous with an idea. A new idea is not a new genre. Case in point. Definition of genre.
Here's the definition of genre. A category of artistic composition, as in music or literature, characterized by similarities in form, style, or subject matter.
Note how different and detailed the second answer was. Style can affect or birth a genre. A concept, like, and you know, not to pick on it because Borderlands 3 is already going through a lot of shit. Looter shooter, where you literally do the exact same things. You shoot a gun from a first-person perspective, and occasionally you get up close and hit somebody, or hit somebody with a technique that doesn't come from a bullet. That's not a new genre. But what does everybody call Borderlands? The creator of the looter shooter genre. Bro, it's a subgenre. The subgenre is looting or random drops, which I don't understand how that's a subgenre, to be honest. Because last I checked, every RPG ever has that shit. But the primary focus is first-person perspective-based long-range action and interaction. Seriously, who the fuck woke up and decided that's a new genre? It's the same damn thing, but more items spill out of a character once they're dead instead of 2 or 3. Am I the only one that found that a little bit weird that people say Borderlands made a new genre? I can't be the only person that thought that was weird.
It's kind of like I'd argue it's a subgenre. Well, it's more like a subgenre. It's a
Thank
shooter,
you. Thank you.
Looter.
Shooter looter. Wouldn't it be funny if someone actually made a game with that name? Shooter looter. Anyways.
Wait for it.
I know, right? But yeah. I think that new genres will only happen when we have new formats of play. For instance, we all know everyone likes trying to make a sword game when motion controls are involved. A literal sword fighting game. I would instantly call that, if it was to be perfected, weapon combat genre. For the simple fact that you are simulating a weapon being used and its motions are affected by your actual real-time 4-dimensional movement. And let me just get this out the way right now because, oh my God, I meet a lot of arrogant, stupid people, which is my least favorite type of stupid people because they want to try to shit talk when they don't know what the fuck they talking about, which is, I won't get into how aggravating that is. All right, so 1 dimension is the X or Y axis. 2 dimensions is the alternate axis from X or Y, the opposite axis. So basically you want to think of them as one is horizontal and one is vertical. I just can't remember which is which. 3 dimensions is the ability to move, or rather be perceived, from both axes simultaneously. Or I think that's called Z-axis. Either way, you can see an X and a Y simultaneously. 4 dimension factors in a little bit of the TAS, time and space. So you can move around a 3-dimensional object or even a 4-dimensional object by going through time and space. Because even though humans have not mastered some magical wizardry shit like you see in the movies, we can move through time and space. However, it is only in the present format. So you can move through time. You can move from your room into the bathroom to take a shit. And you obviously can create space by moving from one adjacent point to another. Like, say, a turd going from your ass into the bowl and then flushing said turd. Don't forget to wipe and wash. So yeah, with that out of the way, if we start utilizing games that more involve four-dimensional space, like, you know, augmented reality stuff, Pokemon Go, or anything from the Niantic company, seriously, people Google them. Like 90% of what they do is nothing but GPS tag shit. Not that that's a bad thing, but that's their hallmark. Those are the only ways we're going to see new genres. That Pokemon game required real-world movement. That's crazy to think about. Just 10 years ago, if you tried something like that, people would have looked at you like you were crazy. Look how far we've come. You go, video games. I'd pat you on the back, but you don't exist because you're not a person. Anyways, I think it is possible to get new genres, but only when we start inventing new ways to format and stylize gameplay style. Because the only thing that's going to happen is we're going to get subgenres that people don't properly name, and whoever comes up with the weirdest name and publicizes it gets it. Case in point, character action game. Oh, I fucking hate hearing that so much. Y'all know I hate hearing character action game. Anyways. Fucking. Yeah, that's how I feel about that one. Alright, so. Topic 3. Well, you already know I'm vote number 3. Because. I don't know. I'm not jaded by being one of the only creatives. Or not even creative. I'd say more productive members of this shit. I like the idea of seeing you guys come up with shit or do your own thing. Just because. It doesn't mean I get to be lazy so much as, you know, I get to see that growth and evolution of a person. That type of situation. And also, I've been saying it for years, but you guys, even though I'm the comedian, you guys make me laugh. So, who's to say I don't, you know, sit down and end up with a situation where I literally wake up one day, Corey says, hey, I want to do another episode of Worst Dress Scenario. Okay, what character? Dalsim. I was like, okay. Hey, Corey, make sure you don't mention something that may be easily perceived as racist. It's like, well, I mean, we don't have any Indian people in the podcast, but hey, you know, I'll let you look over it. You being the minority, not being a subject matter expert, but dealing with this shit more than you have. And also, I can give it to Ryan. Ryan is not Indian. He is as pure and as Caucasian and marshmallowy as Crispin Freeman Jr. himself. But he's been dating an Indian woman for 2 years now. So, you know, his religion, or at least, you know, the character himself falls under Indian orientation and themes. So, you know, she might be able to give us some insight or at least warn us if we're going too far in a dark direction. And then he records it. And I just mix it, bada bing, bada boom, SoundCloud that ass.
By the way, I think the voice of Dalsim is Caucasian.
That doesn't surprise me. I think the last time an ethnicity was represented by an ethnicity was the Jackie Chan show. And it was kind of funny. Everybody in that show, they're good actors. But Jade, you know, the one who plays his niece, even though she's actually his cousin, yeah, she actually is his niece in real life. Jade from the show was actually voiced by his actual niece. And I know that's so cool, but I'm really kind of sad she's not doing anything else, or at least not in America, because I wanted to see her voice act more. I loved her voice.
I have to watch that show again. I don't remember exactly what she sounds like, but it would be nice to hear more.
Yeah, and then there's also a complete side note. I don't know if you guys still watch Modern Family or if you've seen the new seasons, but if you want to feel old, go look at that the little Asian girl who was on the show. Holy shit. She's a teenager now by the show standards, but oh my God, her voice gets so damn deep. Like, I would not think that voice came out of her as an adult if I didn't watch the show. I think they're on season 11. Holy shit, her voice got deep. She's still tiny and skinny. So, yeah, it's like your brain is trying to process it even though it knows it's real. It doesn't want to perceive it. Something like that. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. Anyways, getting off topic. And as far as things I want everyone to watch, well, here, let me open up my Vero's True Social Media account. No, they're not sponsoring me. However, I do think it's a good idea to mention that Vero is a completely independently owned and operated social media company, which means that they are not dictated to by sponsors. That doesn't mean that, everyone and their mom or porn star people are all up on this shit. Just let me clarify that right now. It just means that when you get on the website, you're not going to get anything but people you want to see, people you might want to see. Nothing is an advertisement unless it comes from Vero, and Vero only promotes genuine products, not other people's shit. V as in Victor, E as in Echo, R as in Robert, O as in October. Vero. True Social. Yeah, so basically that's my primary place to go to promote, or rather review and talk about, and also somewhat promote other forms of media that I consume. Because, I tell people all the time, the reason I'm not on every social media shit under the sun is because I need a reason to do them. Because I love you guys, y'all my homies, y'all my squad, but I'm not obsessed with looking at other people's shit to the point where I could literally look at Facebook for hours. The whole concept of that creeps me the fuck out. So what I decided to do specifically with my Vero account is do show reviews and recommendations. And I'm just going to go and give you guys a choice. I have a comedy show and I have an action show. My two most recent reviews. Which one do y'all want?
Action.
What about you, Hill?
We could go for the action.
Alrighty then. The Boys. Yes, it kind of a lazy-ish name for a good-ass show. But this is just me reading exactly what I have on my Vero. The Boys is a dark take on the concept of the noble superhero. Much like dirty cop police dramas, you'll find that most of the cast members, if not all the cast members, say for very few exceptions from the so-called superhero pools and organizations, are either run in corrupt manners or themselves are heinously terrible human beings running around like celebrities who think they can get away with anything, a la a Kardashian and or Kanye, if not Chris Brown, for example. Although the acting heavy hitters per se, like most television in this so-called second golden era, it doesn't matter with good acting and good writing. I can see any person on this show, whether they are no name all the way up to a B-lister, hitting A tier. It's just that good. And you can easily tell who the characters are based off of excuse me. Who the characters are based off of, but due to their dark inherent human nature, the supers themselves end up looking and feeling as if they are either their own person and not just any kind of and not just any type of person who has never truly dealt with their demons, because the world or they themselves pretend that they can't have them. In short, it's nothing but superhero celebrities who are assholes who don't think that they are assholes. And what happens when we learn firsthand we're not all capable of stopping them once they go into the dark abyss. The Boys is one to watch. The end. Opinions?
I'm trying to clap, but I have to press the button.
Hill, clap for Corey. There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I genuinely do recommend that show because, well, you know how it is. Everyone likes to, the people who never deal with stereotypes are some of the first people to stereotype. Anytime somebody hears the word fucking superhero show, superhero movie, they automatically assume, oh, here's a bad guy, superhero stops bad guy, nothing changes, the end. But we all know, because we've been watching shit for at least half our lives at this point, if not a little bit close to it, that's not true. And The Boys is one of the biggest, and I do mean biggest, derivatives of that. It's hard to not spoil this, because some of the darkest shit, even if it's not story related, are the best parts. But I'll just give you like literally a episode 1 example, so it doesn't hurt too much. Their Superman allegory throws somebody in the sky, and then a lot of people want to take pictures with them, so he stops to do autographs and take pictures with them. And he doesn't catch the guy, and he lets him snap his neck after landing on a van or SUV after being in the air more than 13 seconds. That happens in the first like 30, 40 minutes. Also, the main character is basically Corey on so many levels, to the point where even his mom thinks it's him.
Jack Quaid. I think his name is Jack Quaid.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either, but yeah, it's only on Amazon Video. But as you all know, as long as you have an Amazon Prime, one time a year payment of 50 bones, you get access to Amazon Video. I can't recommend this shit hard enough. I will tell you this though. What's up?
Oh, sorry to interrupt. Amazon's gonna let people stream their TV shows and movies through Twitch, like a viewing part.
Yeah, I did remember hearing something about that, because Amazon bought Twitch. Obviously, they did it in a way that people somewhat consider shady, but you know, it is what it is.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So yeah, that's one of the ones I think people should watch right now. Anyways, all right, on to topic 4. I believe there is a wrong way to do it, but also sometimes, like anything in relation to this world, some people don't care if it's the wrong way. They care if it gets them where they're trying to get, and they don't matter what they sacrifice or what part of their soul gets lost in the interim. We all know that any form of Hollywood can and does work off of nepotism. Does every single place and location utilize nepotism? Hell no. I'm not going to put that funk on the entire entertainment industry. Technically, I'm a part of the entertainment industry. But I think that if you go into a close-knit group of people and they want to play favorites, and they only want to allow people they like or people they know or recognize, that is inherently immoral, or rather amoral. So for you people out there who do voice acting, obviously, first and foremost, I recommend getting a professional sounding demo reel. That means don't use no bullshit USB mic. Your microphone should be attached to an XLR or XLR, as some like to say the long way. And there should be an audio interface if you're not already in a professional grade studio. That's how I truly look at it. Because anything else is going to get you treated like an internet person. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Some people start off that way, and some people transition. Newgrounds has at least, I want to say, maybe a good dozen or so voice actors who started on Newgrounds, the original YouTube, and fucking transitioned into, primetime shit. Kira Buckland started on Newgrounds, and she did 2B from Nier Automata. Probably the...
I saw that. That was amazing.
Yeah, I've been hearing Kira Buckland's voice. I used to be on her Facebook, but I don't know. Maybe she thought she was famous, or she got famous to a point where she started removing people who she decided, weren't of some type of direct relation. Which is weird, because the whole point of Facebook is to network, but let's be honest, there's a whole generation of people who don't use Facebook to network. They use it to literally watch and live the lives of their friends. So I didn't get offended by it, but we had spoken a couple times before and shit. She plays fighting games habitually, so I don't know. Anyways, Ryan is also was in a group with her too back in the days too. So, just goes to show you shit does work. However, the problem with those clicks is that favoritism can and will show up. Biases can and will show up. Okay? And that's what my problem is with them. Not to mention, it's fucking voice acting. You should literally be only judged on your voice. And maybe, if you're proven to be some Vic Mignogna grade scumbag, they might not want to fuck with you. But anything else should be secondary, superfluous, and just expendable knowledge. Somebody in the industry is currently or will cheat on their significant other. I don't like that. But technically, it does not pertain to your job unless you fucked them at work or through work. Then I would have an issue with that. But I know inherently, just as hypothetically, if I was a recruiter or something, my job is not to care about that. And if I do, it's only in regards, can it affect the company or me directly? For example, you lose those odds when you start forming up and clicking. Anyways, fucking... Yeah, so I feel like there is a definite wrong way, but you know how it is. People are selfish these days. This is a country that literally, on the social level, has tried to prove or state that self-involvement and self-obsession, to an extent, is a positive human trait, even though the Nordic islands or Nordic regions have an entire inherent social belief system that is the exact opposite. And it basically boils down to, hey, be humble. Someone's always better at something than you. I would love to give you the exact name of it, but I can't pronounce those letters. I don't know. I might drop a YouTube video in later. Anyways. So, yeah. The way I look at it, fucking, there's a wrong way. The right way is just going through any other proper channels and playing the lottery game like everyone else does in entertainment. Let's think about this for a second. You can go and get an agent. Obviously, they're going to want a pre-established reel. Or you can submit your reel to an agency, and they decide if they want to use your voice. Lily's Talent Agency is a good one for the Midwest. Shout outs to Lily's. Y'all got some good stuff. You can also, of course, network within the audio visual industry, but that's a little bit harder to do. And the indirect option is you can learn basics in localization related things or be involved with the localization process, which means translating on making things from another country coherent to another one. That may require some degrees, or if you're lucky and you're already bilingual and stuff, you can go and do it that way. I wish you the best of luck. Don't be a dick. Don't be a Vic. I should get that on a shirt. Also, normally we would end it right here, but it looks like a one Officer 9000 plus one is trying to type out his statements to be recited because he's not able to come in verbally this time. So we'll give him a little bit of time, but in between that, we're going to talk about stuff. And if he isn't finished in 5 minutes, hey, we'll call it a day, and I'll leave what he say in the description. Wait, I'm forgetting something. Oh, yeah, topic 5. Sorry. All right, so. Unpopular opinion, I know. I think they should stop making the original Switch. Normally, when Nintendo has, as I mentioned earlier, a handheld system, they stop making certain ones after certain points, even if people are still producing games. Okay? So, here's the thing I'm looking at. This system is a hybrid system. They said it from day one. They proved it from day one. Okay? So if this system is a hybrid system, I think There's nothing wrong with that. However, there should be a way or implementation for these new games that come out to have two settings. One for the old Switch and one for the new Switch. So even though they incentivize owning the upgraded version, as Hill mentioned earlier, hey, ain't nobody got time for that or wallet size for all that. That's a select group of people. Because we all know whenever they announce that new one, all the game resale companies are going to discount what you can trade the old ones in for and mark them bitches up. And damn near make more money than Nintendo. At least off the physical sales. So I think the best way to stay competitive, or rather to piss off the least amount of people and make the most happy, because you can't make everyone happy. The only people who think that, little kids or just delusional grown adults, too many of those by the way, is to make the new system, tell every single developer, hey, you're not allowed to have your game only work on the Super Switch until, we'll say, 2 or 3 years from now. And Nintendo ends their production line for the old one and tell all the new companies going forward, hey, if you want to continue ordering shit from us, we're going to convert your shipping this one time over into, whatchamacallit, over into fucking the Super Switch. But everything after that, you pay the original retail to send all the shit out. Now, I know a lot of people will say, well, why not just do it like 3DS? But here's the thing. The amount of money the 3DS costs to have produced versus the Switch is like night and day. They can't afford, well, actually they can due to all that gacha game money, but even though they can afford to make a billion different versions and iterations, you got to remember consistency equals longevity with video game systems. And Nintendo knows this better than anybody because, fuck, they watch Sega. Sega, when it had the Saturn come out, was still producing and servicing every other system they made. And depending on the country, you weren't even up to date. When the Saturn came out, the Sega Master System, along with that attachment, CD attachment, whatever you want to call it, was still being marketed and sold in other countries. They didn't actually whittle down and calm down their shit till they got to the Dreamcast. Not joking. That's when shit turned around. Yes, I realize how ironic that statement is. Please don't remind me. I miss the Dreamcast so much. Anyways. So yeah. I think they should drop it. Make all the current ordered units that they need to. And if going forward, tell people, look, we need Super Switch adaptation. Adoption, sorry. So yeah. All right. Now we can bullshit whilst we are waiting for him to finish up. But like I said, he's got 5 minutes and it is currently 2:09. So at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. At 2:14, we'll wrap it up. All right. So y'all want to talk about shows? Y'all want to talk about games? Or books?
Games.
What about you, Hill?
Game.
Well, I still can't get y'all to get into Teppen, so I'm not even going to try at this point. But I am kind of curious about one thing. Okay, so we know the PS5 controller is going to be different. We know the next box controller is going to be different. But the Super Switch, I don't think we've even seen a confirmation of the Joy-Cons. All we've seen is a concept picture where the Joy-Cons are tilted. But we all know that Nintendo's concept footage for all of their patents never looked like the final product. Now, this almost feels like it should be a topic at some point, or should have been a topic by now, but I'm curious, what do y'all think the next batch of Nintendo official Joy-Cons is going to look like? Or what do you think they should be able to do?
Curved. Like kind of like a candy cane. Like it'll curve at the top. I don't know. It's just the first thought, because I remember in the picture, yeah, like the Joy-Cons bend over, but I don't know. Maybe they'll just make them like curve around the hand. I don't know. That was the first thought that came into my head.
What about you, Hill?
I don't know, because they do seem content on their sleek, one-handed designs, and how they can also betterly function as a controller you would use with two hands. So, but hopefully they go with bigger Joy-Cons. I'd like that. Maybe also maybe even a better fucking home menu and make it seem more immersive as the fucking PlayStation Xbox ones have.
I know I'm about to beat the oldest dead horse that North America has ever beat for Nintendo Joy-Cons or just Nintendo motion controllers in general, but the motherfuckers are too small. They're so small that there's even signal blocking issues sometimes. Obviously, we all know that they said they fix all Joy-Con issues for free. The Joy-Con drift, as they like to call it. Also, how has nobody made a meme or just a picture of a Joy-Con as a car and drifting? That would be so fucking hilarious, but I digress. Fucking... I really don't understand why they keep defending that shit. And Nintendo, they've said multiple times now, and it's been reported that they have no plans whatsoever to make an upgraded version of the Joy-Cons. I'm just sitting there thinking, motherfucker, you make over $100 million for your gacha games. Not even yearly. That's like, you make $100 million, I think, every 9 months or so, or just about from your gacha shit. You know, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but you telling me you can't throw half that or even just like an eighth of that into research and development? Come on now. We all know exactly what happened with the Wiimote, and we know exactly what happened with these Joy-Cons. Nintendo does not think ahead about hand sizes. I did not hate the Wiimote inherently when it came out because I don't know why people didn't realize it. I don't know if this was the same for y'all, but everyone seemed to magically think that there wouldn't be an actual controller to go with the Wii when it came out. I'm like, you know there's going to be a fucking controller. But everyone just decided that the nunchuck was going to fuck up everything because you can only use a nunchuck. Nintendo never said you can only use a nunchuck, ever. But they're always too damn small. But then when they go and make a controller, the shit's a good size. Yeah, the fucking 64 controller was... I'm sorry, but the Nintendo 64 controller looked like if a robot could vomit, that's how it would look. But everything after that, they kept getting closer and closer. Ergonomic. And then when you get to the Wiimote, yo, real talk, did y'all have this problem? You would press up or down on the D-pad, but the fatty part of your hand would hit the fucking A button. Like anybody else hit more than one button when they tried to use that damn controller the first time?
Yes.
No.
That's weird because you're taller than both of us. You should have had to... Oh, no, wait. You were younger, so you were still short at the time.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, man, that shit was so annoying because sometimes that could mean the difference between the end of a match or self-destruction. Anyways. I don't know, man. It's just... I feel like if they do... I feel like they might just be making these new fucking controllers. They lying to us, kinda, sorta. They are making new iterations, but they're only making them to come out with the new Nintendo Switch. or they just planned on third parties picking up their slack. And it's really weird. I don't know if y'all know this, but Hideki Kamiya, aka the dude who made Devil May Cry, Beautiful Joe, and Bayonetta, he literally has went on Nintendo's own Twitter account and told them, hey, please make a D-pad controller. Oh shit, there's Matt. All right, Corey, you want to knock out what Matt has to say with or without cowboy voice? I'm fine either way.
I think I'm just gonna rate it. I don't know. Sure, I'll read it. Topic 1. To be honest, I don't think either idea would all be that good. I'd personally love to see how some video games are made, but those in the movie industry, I don't really think they'd have much interest in it, since they ain't much profit there. Topic 2, I think we're all at the point where subgenres have been a thought of. Wait, am I reading that wrong?
No, he didn't finish the thought, no pun intended, but I'm going to let him know, and you just do topic 3, 4, and 5. Whoa, okay. The fuck did I just press?
Topic 3, I don't really care if the podcast audience increases. I'm here mostly just to share ideas, got no interest in making my own content. If y'all want to go for it, though, I won't be opposed. Topic 4, I don't think they're going to stop production of the old Switch too quickly. They're likely going to do the same thing they did with the 3DS and continue making both while slowly phasing out of the previous model.
We need to name that voice, because that's like smooth radio DJ motherfucker.
DJ Zax.
See? You sound like one of those late night DJ guys. Like, oh my God.
Here we are playing jazz on the radio. Louis Armstrong. Like, I don't know.
Dude, seriously, you legit... I don't know where your career is going to go, but I am enjoying watching it. And now Alex is doing fucking sword training when she's going to school for, I think, like forensic science. I'm like, girl, you all over the place. Oh, sorry. I'm just like, y'all some of the most interesting young bastards I've met in a long time.
Dude, sword training?
Yes!
That's cool. I would love to learn sword training. It would have no practical use, but it'd be really cool.
Dude, how you think I feel about army combatives? I had fucking over 14 years of martial arts experience. And the worst part about army combatives that they don't advertise is that when you learn them, they make you learn it on your knees, and they actually deduct points if you come up off your knees when you're fighting. Who the fuck you know fighting on their knees?
You ever see that? Did you watch season 2 of Castlevania? Right?
Hell yes, I did.
What made me immediately think about the dual sword thing is when he's fighting the beast, the one guy on the Rev. What's it? Well, he's fighting one of the dudes. He just has 2 short swords, and he's just beating the crap out of the skeleton dude. I just thought that was so cool, and I was like, okay, now I want to kind of learn how to fight with 2 swords. That was just one of the things I was thinking.
Yeah. Okay, he rephrased his topic too, so go ahead and knock that one out.
Okay. Sorry, let me worry. I don't think any new genres can be created at this point. Won't stop the companies from trying, though. Okay.
All right, now you can do his topic 4 and wait on topic 5.
Oh, I read his topic 4.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, topic 5 will probably, take maybe a hot minute or two. Fucking... So did you beat Devil May Cry 3? I'm sorry. Yeah. No, wait. Yeah, I get it right. You beat Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition yet, bitch?
No, I haven't. I have so many games I have to get through. I'll get to it probably after. Let's see.
Next Millennium.
65, Doom, Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I've.
You know
I
what?
haven't been playing any game.
How you put Fire Emblem? I'm on that shit.
I haven't finished it. I just stopped playing games.
Yeah, I know. It's called being an adult. It's going to happen again. I promise you. Fucking, we'll call that your Cartman. Well, not even your Cartman. Your South Park voice, by the way. I heard that shit.
I just want to go home and play games. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good kids next door quality voice. Maybe he doesn't know that there's a topic 5.
I don't think he knows.
By the way, Hill, how far are you in 3 houses, and what house did you do?
I chose Blue Lion because I could find 1,000,001 videos on fucking Black Eagles and Golden Deer, but nobody want to help out my boy Dimitri, even though he might seem like a serial psychopath killer.
That's kind of true.
Not, though. He's a good.
I mean, not the psychopath thing, but yeah, favoritism went 2 ways. It went red and gold. They just completely said, fuck blue. And every time I look at it, it's like, this is what Wolverine would be like if he was in the medieval era. That's how I look at that motherfucker every time.
And I got to the point where, like, your dad died, and then you fused with the goddess, and then I had to take a break, because I was about to get really emotionally invested into that game and cry. So I had to, like, divert energy into Deus Ex Machina, and, well, Demon X Machinima, and Code Vein.
Yeah, how is that? Because everyone says it reminds them of Armored Core, but they said it feels faster.
It's actually pretty good because it's way faster than Armored Core ever could. And then it also has its own, I guess, morality choices because I'm trying to remember these things, because there's Zen, Sky Union, and then Orbital, the 3 like businesses you're being hired as a fucking mercenary. And then it's just like, oh, you gotta fight the evil robots, but you also gotta help out with companies' their own personal gain in the fight to save Earth, because you can't save Earth without a profit, and without profit, you're not gonna save Earth. So, but you gotta help.
Okay. Well, I mean, I understand Tekken better. Teppen better, but hey, I know when I beat a dead horse too much. I will say this though, I've never truly been interested in Jill Valentine as much as I am right now. Second only to when they put her in Marvel vs. Capcom in her crazy format. Holy fucking shit. That was an eye-opener, let me just say. But as far as a character deck goes, she's been strongly considered to be top tier ever since she came out. And it's showing. It's really, really showing.
Jill, I'm sorry, you kind of like...
Yeah, I noticed my signal randomly dipped out. But I did say Jill Valentine. I haven't been as interested in Jill Valentine since they put her in her crazy format in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And let me just say, I've never seen a character start off OP, but this is a new type of card game. Most card games, they have decks based around elements or a type of monster. All the decks in Tekken are based off of the type of character you have. So Jill Valentine came out, and within, I want to say, maybe less than 3 days, she went to top tier. Not even joking. I'm not saying that because I sometimes play the character. I have an understanding of the game, and I have an understanding of the decks. Every single format of the deck and the heroes and the colors. Not because I'm obsessed with the game and I know this much, but I have a naturally inherently analytical mind. It's easy for me to remember what the card effects are because I don't know. I've randomly played card games throughout my childhood, so I know that shit's important. But it's because I understand what the characters can do, and I've seen the primary decks. Now, the primary decks are basically what people on the Discord and social medias of Tekken use, and they know that if they get to that deck, it can almost guarantee them that they get high ranks or do a good job when they go into rank mode. But the deck specifically designed for Jill is scary, and here's why. They introduced a new function when they made Jill, and her character used it before they made cards to go with it. It's basically a deck searcher, but it doesn't just deck search specific cards. You can also do cards that don't technically exist within your deck, so you can bypass the deck limit. That's fucking scary. Here's the crazy part though. Sometimes just by pulling those cards out, you can buff cards related to Jill. Even the Jill card, not just the Jill character's super ability. Because there's a character and then there's a character card. The character is who you're playing as. They got the HP and they have a super ability. The card is a card version of the character. It's weird how they did that. They don't even use like things to distinguish their name. So when you get Jill's card on the field, you get power buffs every time you search, no matter what it is. So imagine this. There's a Guile in your deck. Guile, once he dies, can create explosions that do 6 damage to any enemy you choose on the field. So let's say you got 2 Guiles that died. And then you pop out a Jill. But guess what? All the cards that can help you automatically do a search, dude, they only cost 1 level of magic to use. Almost all of them. So if you got on this Super Jill legendary card, every time you search for something up to 3, she gets a new ability that's stupid good. Like the first thing she gets is she can't be targeted by special effect cards that specifically target 1 card. So now that means that she's immune to about 15% of every card in the fucking game. The second ability, which again, all these can be activated simultaneously as long as you're searching. Second ability, she gets the ability to attack twice every time she hits. So even though she's got shit attack power like 2, every time she hits, it's going to be 4. But wait, there's one more. You search again for a third time, as long as she's on the field, her natural attack power gets added to 4. So now that means every time she hits something, she does 16 damage. The game only lets you get 30 HP and you can't go past it. So that means if you get this card on the field, and even if there's one other card with a search ability, if you use that one ability and you use a magic card on it 2 or 3 times, you can't fucking kill her. Or if you can kill her, fucking your card's gonna die too. And her whole deck is like that. So that means that she can get power to kill faster, even against decks that slow down the game's process. Thereby making her not OP, but extremely, extremely hard to beat. Because she could have 4 cards, and the game lets you hold 5 at a time. She could have 4 cards in her hand, and it can completely sway a match just based on if it can search for something or not. Crazy, but fun. All right, he finished up the topic he missed.
Topic 5, right? That's
Well, he got 4 and 5 mixed up, but we'll just call it topic 4 for right now.
okay. Topic 4. For those who don't use the usual methods, it's really a crapshoot. If you get a chance or not, you'll have a much better chance by getting to know peeps already in the industry. Get to know peeps in the industry, even if they're on the low end of things.
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, this has been another exciting episode of Token Games Podcast. You guys got any last words?
Please like, follow, and subscribe.
Hill?
10,000 years too early to take me on in this next battle, but I will have to take down these giant train monsters I have to fight.
All right. With that being said, I will see you guys when I see you guys.